What you're about to see bends the rules of what factories are supposed to do. 60 of the smartest, rarest, most jaw-dropping machines on Earth, all in one place. Self-guided welding robot. Before the weld even begins, this robot reads the seam with lasers. One pass, perfect beads, zero corrections. 5-axis CNC mill. 5 axes moving at once, and every one knows exactly where the others are going. Titanium becomes turbine blades, while coolant mists like stage fog. Waterjet cutter. A stream of water thinner than a pencil lead slices through 4-inch steel like wet paper. Automated bottling line. Thousands of empty bottles march in. Seconds later, they roll out filled, capped, and labeled. Tighter than a Broadway curtain call. Robotic palletizer. Boxes fly off the conveyor and into the grip of this robot like it's been playing Tetris since birth. Every stack dead square. Hydraulic forging press. When the ram drops, the floor rumbles. Red-hot steel flattens into a gear blank in one breath. 3D metal printer. Layer by layer, a laser fuses metal powder into shapes no mill could ever carve, parts lighter than foam, stronger than forged steel. Giant pipe bender. 48 inches of thick steel goes in straight, comes out curved like it was born that way. Heavy metal origami. Automated glass blower. Molten glass drops into the mold, a puff of air, and a bottle is born. Hundreds per minute, all still glowing orange. Tunnel boring machine. This thing eats mountains for breakfast. A cutter head the size of a house grinds through solid rock while the machine drags itself forward. Robotic meat portioner. The scanner reads the cut, calculates the angle, and the blade drops before you blink. Every slice, the exact same weight. Injection molding giant. Molten plastic shoots into the mold, the clamp slams shut with the force of a small car, and 60 seconds later, a full car bumper pops out. Automated egg grater. Eggs roll past tiny cameras peeking inside with light like a doctor's penlight. Cracked ones flicked aside, perfect ones cruise on. High-speed can filler. Empty cans flood in, get gassed, filled, sealed, and stamped before your eyes can focus on one. The sound alone is hypnotic. Robot arm painter. The arm glides along the car body, tracing curves like it's painting with a ghost's hand. Not a drip, not a miss. Concrete 3D printer. A gantry slides across the build site, squeezing concrete like toothpaste. In a day, a full house frame stands where yesterday there was dirt. Laser rust remover. Handheld wand sweeps over rusted steel and the corrosion just vanishes. Not sanded. Vaporized. Vision-guided bin picker. The robot peers into a bin of jumbled parts and picks the right one in the right order. Librarian energy, factory speed. Carbon fiber weaver. Strand after strand gets woven into a pattern tighter than a samurai braid. What comes out goes into jets, race cars, hypersonic dreams. Fiber laser engraver. Point, fire, done. The laser burns a logo or full photograph into steel in under a second. Detail sharper than any tattoo gun. Automated brick layer. A boom extends, grabs a brick, lays the mortar, drops it square. 3,000 a day, no lunch break. Pick and place SMT line. Chips smaller than a grain of rice land on the circuit board at a speed your eyes can't track. The board fills like a city skyline in fast forward. Automated tire builder. Rubber sheets, steel belts, and fabric plies wrap around a spinning drum while robotic arms press every layer flat. A donut made of engineering. CNC plasma cutter. A plasma arc hotter than the sun's surface dances across steel, and complex shapes fall away in showers of sparks. Autonomous combine harvester. The cab is empty. The wheel turns on its own. The combine mows a mile-wide swath without drifting an inch. Robotic fish processor. A salmon slides past a laser that maps its spine. The blades come down at exactly the right angle. Sushi chefs would weep. Fiber optic drawing tower. A bowl of pure glass hangs white hot and a single strand pulls downward thinner than a human hair, miles long. The actual internet being born. EV battery pack builder. Thousands of cells click into housings like the machines playing speed solitaire. The beating heart of an electric car rolls out the end. Hydraulic car baler. A junked car rolls into the jaws, hydraulics close with a groan, and a minute later, a tidy metal cube pops out. Smaller than a microwave. A e-recycling sorter. Cameras spot plastics, metals, and paper faster than the human brain can follow. Air jets fire in microseconds, kicking items onto the right chute. Cookie depositor line. Batter squeezes out through shaped nozzles, dropping identical cookies onto the belt in neat rows. Grandma's recipe, factory scale. Automated log debarker. A whole tree trunk passes through a spinning ring, and the bark peels off like rind from an orange. Clean white wood on the other side. Robotic window installer. A giant suction cup lifts a pane the size of a billboard and slots it into the frame with zero wobble. Glaziers hold their breath every time. Automated chocolate enrober. A waterfall of liquid chocolate pours over rows of candies gliding underneath. Each one emerges coated in a glossy shell. Heavy-duty scrap shredder. Washing machines, refrigerators, entire cars get fed in whole and come out as fist-sized chunks. Ear protection, not optional. High-speed label applicator. Labels peel off the roll and smack onto the bottles dead straight, dead fast. Not a single wrinkle, not a single crooked edge. Robotic tomato harvester. Cameras check each tomato for ripeness, and soft-fingered grippers pluck only the red ones. Farmhands might have opinions, but the yield is flawless. Automated pipe welder. The torch rotates around the pipe on its own, laying a bead that circles perfectly back to the start. Pipeline work done without human hands anywhere near the arc. CNC glass engraver. A diamond-tipped bit carves intricate frost patterns into crystal. The design looks handmade by a master. It took the machine about 4 minutes. Robotic apple sorter. Apples roll past cameras that spot bruises invisible to the eye. Perfect ones get boxed, imperfect ones get redirected to juice. Automated rebar bender. Steel rebar feeds in straight and comes out bent into precise hooks and loops. Every bend matches the blueprint without anyone touching a tape measure. Precision sandcaster. Liquid iron pours into sand molds glowing like lava, and seconds later a solid engine block waits underneath the sand. Ancient craft, modern scale. Robotic pizza maker. Dough gets flattened, sauced, topped, and slid into the oven by arms that never miss a slice. A whole pizza out the other end in 1 minute. Giant stamping press. A flat sheet of steel rolls under the hammer, the ram drops, and a fully shaped car door lifts out the other side. One hit, one part. Ultrasonic cleaner. Grimy parts drop into a tank, sound waves agitate the liquid, and grime lifts off like someone turned on reverse gravity. No scrubbing required. Automated sushi roller. Rice spreads, nori wraps, filling drops in. Out the other end rolls a perfect makey that looks handmade by a Tokyo veteran. CNC foam cutter. A glowing wire glides through foam blocks, carving sculptures, signs, and architectural shapes out of what used to be a packaging cube. High-speed packaging wrapper. Items slide in unwrapped, pass under a heat tunnel, and emerge shrink sealed like they were born that way. Hypnotic to watch in slow motion. Robot construction welder. Up on a skyscraper's steel frame, a welding robot crawls along the beam, laying flawless welds while humans watch from a safe distance. Milk carton former. A flat piece of cardboard folds itself into a perfect carton, gets filled with milk, sealed, and dated. Start to finish, under 4 seconds. CNC wire bender. Thin steel wire feeds through a bending head that twists it into shopping cart frames, hangers, or suspension clips. No welds. One continuous piece. Automated coffee roaster. Green beans tumble inside a drum at precisely the right temperature curve, cracking as they develop. Out comes a roast profile perfected to the second. Laser paint stripper. Old paint flakes off under a laser sweep, revealing bare metal underneath. No sanding dust, no solvent fumes, just a glowing line moving across the surface. Robot road paver. A paving machine lays asphalt with sensors keeping the surface dead flat to the millimeter. The road it leaves behind looks laser cut. Robotic watch assembler. Gears smaller than a peppercorn get placed onto a movement by a robot arm steadier than any Swiss craftsman. Magnification required just to see the work. Hot isostatic press. Parts get sealed in a chamber and squeezed with high-pressure gas at brutal temperatures. What comes out has zero internal voids, stronger than the original material itself. Automated sewing cell. Fabric feeds itself under the needle while cameras guide every stitch. T-shirts, jeans, and upholstery panels roll off the line with no one at the foot pedal. CNC Swiss lathe. A steel bar slides forward into a spinning chuck while tools attack from every angle, producing surgical implants and tiny precision parts in seconds. Concrete demolition robot. A tracked robot the size of a bathtub chews through reinforced concrete walls without breaking a sweat. No human anywhere near the dust cloud. Automated drone assembler. At the end of the line, robots assemble other robots. Drones roll off the belt tested, calibrated, and ready to fly. The future is already here. You just weren't watching. Thanks for sticking with us to the end. If one of these machines had you rewinding, drop a comment and tell us which one earned the rewind. Hit that subscribe button for more, and we'll see you next time.